is the Q&A podcast, episode 2, and we have the amazing sexpert, Amber, and so episode 2, Amber.
All right, so it's episode 2 of the Q&A podcast. Welcome everyone who is tuning in, whether you're watching or you're here live. Thank you for being here. So today we're going to touch on a few questions that some people have sent us in, and we're just going to kind of flow through that a little bit. So I want to start off with the one that kind of piqued my interest the most, which is, because I like being pegged, am I gay?
Ooh.
So, Quincy, what are your thoughts on that at first? What are your true blue thoughts? And then I'll give you my take.
My personal thoughts is, no, I don't think it makes you gay at all. You know, like, if you want to be pegged by a woman and only a woman, I don't think it makes you gay. I've heard, and I don't really know much about the male prostate, but I've heard many good things about it. Like, all the men I've dated, per se, have always been like, do not touch me down there, okay? And I don't know why. To be honest, in my opinion, I think a lot of men have this...
You like the machistas.
Yeah, yes. All my exes have been super machistas. Jesus fucking Christ. Yes, they have. And I've always said to them, like, but have you tried it, you know? Because, like, I'm very open about sex. And I'd be like, but I want to, you know, make you feel better. Like, have you ever tried? They're like, no, that's for gays, no. And I'm just like, oh, God. I was just like, it's not. Like, it's normal. Like, I heard, like, all my friends do it to their boyfriends. I'm like, let's go. And they're like, no. And I think, and I've talked to a lot of men about this, and I think a lot of men have this opinion that if they enjoy anal sex, that they are just automatically gay. And I've said to them, but like, do you want men? No, you want a woman to do it to you. So, in my opinion, no, I do not think it makes you gay. And I've heard that it's amazing for males to, you know, take it from the backside. So...
Okay, so I'm sure so many like penis, prostate having people listening in who haven't done this will try to discredit us because we don't have prostates. But so I'm going to talk specifically from people I've heard from who have prostates. So when I used to work at a sex shop, like older men would come in like 50s, 60s or so, and they would always be looking for prostate toys. And every single one of them always came to me with the same rhetoric, which was, I gave the biggest shit when I was in my 20s and 30s. When I got into my 40s, I kind of opened up about it. And now that I'm doing it, I regret that I wasn't doing it sooner because it's so incredible. This is always the theme. Now they're just a lot more comfortable to walk in, and, you know, they have to be comfortable enough to come in and see some 20-year-old, like, blonde person at the register, you know, and they're coming in like, you know, what am I going to put up my ass kind of thing. Not that crass about it, but, you know, it's kind of the same thing, but they didn't mind. And as a professional, of course, I don't either. But I agree with you. I don't think it's gay, because being gay is being attracted to other males, whatever that definition may be nowadays. So I think because you like a certain thing doesn't make you necessarily one thing or the other. It has nothing to do with your sexuality, you know? It's exactly, similar to saying, because I watch, because I watch like incest porn, I want to have sex with my brother. When that's not the case. Like, there's different dynamics. Like, for some people, of course, that could be true. But for a majority of people, they watch it because of the dynamics, the taboo behind it. Like, there's so many levels to things.
Like, and me, I like watching stepdaddy porn. Like,
there you go.
Big time. Like, it's like every time I go to like whack one out like I had a massive dick. Rub one out. I always stepdad like all the time. And I would never in my life would I ever fuck my stepdad. No, I don't even have a stepdad. Like, my mom's partner or whatever. Like, I would, no. But like you said, like, the whole like taboo about it, and it's like, ooh, it's naughty. And I think that's what gets people going.
Exactly. So, you know, your preferences have nothing necessarily to do with your sexuality. And also, like, a big part of sexuality and like sex is what feels good. It's that like hedonistic aspect of sex. And you shouldn't discredit your body just because, you know, you like penetration, anal penetration, especially like prostate stuff, it's very close in the door. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're really getting in there. I mean, even if you were, who cares? Like, if I finger myself, or if I finger, or if my partner fingers me, like, does that mean that we're like, am I a lesbian or something like that? Like, is this something that's specifically reserved for that? It's kind of, to me, that like idea of being pegged as gay is, well, besides being like homophobic and sexist, it really is just about, it's about the power dynamics. It's not even about the act itself. Because I'm sure you've experienced this with the type of people that you're with, but a lot of guys are a big talk, they talk a big game, and then they get in the situation and they're whimpering and, pushing their butt in your face kind of thing, like trying to get you a little lower and stuff. And it's like that cue. I've definitely been with a guy before where that's what they were doing. And I was like, were you telling me you wanted me to go farther down? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, since you didn't tell me that, and you've always been like, this is a hard no, I did not take that cue. So it's like they want to do something, they just don't want to talk about it.
That's true. That is so true. I've had many guys like push me down. I don't know about you, but I hate
head pushers. No head pushers.
I hate head pushers. I really fucking hate it. And I remember I had this one guy who would like always push me. I think he wanted me to like lick his butt. But he would never say it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it until you fucking say it.
Exactly, because that's consent. That's a part of the game. Like, I wouldn't want someone to like just go do it to me. And also, like, following that same train of thought, or following that idea of like, is doing this gay? Is anal sex in general gay? Is this like specifically for gay people? Like, to me, it's the same idea. Or like when you eat ass, like, well, when like a guy eats your ass, or someone with a penis eats your ass, is that gay? Because why wouldn't you want to eat pussy when pussy's right up the street?
Yeah.
Like, obviously I don't feel that way. I think like it's about pleasure and stuff like that, but it's following the same tone. So what it really is, and what it comes down to, is the power dynamics of men, like these hyper masculine penis having people, see themselves as they should only be the penetrators.
Yeah.
That they should never be penetrated. And so it's like, if they take that submissive role in having that penetration done to them, they're like feminizing themselves. And that's like what they're scared of. And that's like the toxic masculinity thing. It doesn't matter how fucking good it feels, because they're so in their head about just like being judged, but they're the only ones judging themselves. Because like, if I'm putting something in your ass, I'm not thinking about it that deep. Like, I'm just like, are they okay? Is this okay? Or is everything good? Like, those are the questions in my head, not just like, oh, geez, like, this is so gay. Like, I'm just going to leave right after this, like, so ridiculous.
Yeah. I've never ever like, and that's why it comes to surprise a lot of people, because people assume because what I do for a living that I'm like, I've done everything.
Everyone thinks you're a big old whore, and you're really not. I know you. Like,
yeah, everyone just thinks like I've done everything under the moon, but I've never licked a guy's butt. Like, never.
I really enjoy it, quite honestly. Yeah? I think, and people are going to be shook by this. Let me get out of the sunlight. Here's my hot take, is I think a clean butthole tastes better than a clean penis. Mic drop. I firmly feel that way. A clean butthole, it's different skin. It doesn't harbor as much bacteria. When you like wash yourself out there, like, that is clean skin. But when you're getting on the balls and ridges and wrinkles and shafts and foreskin and all this stuff, no hate to foreskin, but like, when we're getting into all those layers of the onion, it's really hard to clean. So, and guys, when they get stuff done to their butt, they really clean it. Their penis, they're probably just like a good, like, But like, when they're cleaning their ass, they're like scrubbing it out of just fear of what could come out or be around, or the smell or anything. So like, I much rather lick a butthole than a penis most of the time.
Damn. Yeah, but like, they would never let me. Like, I would try, but like, if I'm gonna lick someone's butthole, I think rather do it with someone.
Let's do an auction, you know, like how there are some people who auction themselves off to like do a porn with their fans or something like that. We could do like a butt licking auction, like Quincy's first asshole. Like, and people can bid for whose asshole you're gonna lick. I think it's like come on, follow me on this one, y'all. I think it's perfect.
Bidding starts at 20K.
Well, it's like when people sell their virginity, you know, like might as well.
Dude, if I knew that was a thing,
I didn't do it.
Same. If I knew that was a thing, I would have been like, get the fuck away from me. I'm waiting to sell this online. Like, if I
wouldn't have even waited. You could just lie. They're not gonna know the difference. Like,
I know, but don't expect always women to bleed or something. Like, I never bled.
I know, that is true. I didn't bleed either. That's another myth. That's another myth for another day. We have to talk about like the myth of virginity and all associated with it, because that is a huge misconception. And also, like, you don't want period sex, but you're trying to make me bleed. Double standard.
Yeah, exactly. Someone says, live from the chat, putting down 30K for the butt licking. Let's go.
Putting down 30K for the butt licking. If you put down 30K, I will come through too. Like, I'll go for 30K. Like,
2 tongues.
I will wash your asshole for you.
Oh my god. She's nice. She's generous. I'm like, do it yourself, bitch.
Give it up. The wax on, wax off.
Oh god.
Oh my
But
god.
going back quickly to the pegging, I have never pegged someone either, and I would love to. I would love to like.
I have half pegged someone. Half.
A guy
I did
or
it
a
with
girl?
my hand. A guy with a toy in my hand.
Oh, okay.
Not like with a harness, but like it was cool. We did it in the shower. Everything was like kosher. Like there's no fear of anything in the warm water. It's nice. Keeps you calm.
Yeah.
But like they seem to enjoy it, and I enjoyed it too. I think it's fun.
Yeah, because I only did a double-end dildo. That's the only I've done. By the way, on sale on my sites. Gotta plug it in there. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of hard doing it. We struggled a little bit. But I've always really wanted to, like, put a strap on and just fucking go at it. Like, really, really want to.
Well, another thing. We're putting it out there. Another auction. Someone brings the strap and we'll...
That'll be cheaper. 10K, let's go. But yeah, I've always seen it on videos and I'm like, oh, I really want to do it. Like, I really want to do it. Hopefully, like, when everything opens up again, I can get on a plane. I'd love to peg someone.
It's cool. It's a cool experience. Well, I haven't, like, fully pegged someone with the harness. Well, one, my only fear with that is, like, the being out of shape. Like, being like, have you ever been with guys that they, like, 3 pumps and they're just, like, out of breath and, like, sweating? Like, I feel like I would have that. You know, like Hank Hill. I don't know if you know that reference. It's, like, a really redneck show. Like, I feel like I'd be like Hank Hill. Like,
that is true because it's like when you go on top, dude. I hate going on top. Okay, I really fucking hate it. I fucking hate it because I get tired. I get so tired. My legs start to like ache, and I'm just like, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like struggling for my life. But like, I can do like a few minutes, and then it gets to a point where I'm just like.
Well, it depends. I like being on top my way, like the grinding way. Like when we're talking about on top, I'm talking about this. I'm not talking about this. This I don't grinding.
Do. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I like that as well.
I don't do bouncing unless I really like you, but I don't engage in that very long because like that does not do it for me.
Yeah, sorry. Same here. Like, yeah. I like what you're saying with the grinding thing. I really like when they're like sitting up against a wall, kind of like on the bed, and they're kind of like sitting up, and then like I'm on top. That is just that is my sweet spot right there. Yep. Yeah, the couch.
Most people.
I love couch sex. I'm sorry.
Did you know that the term missionary, like the name of the sex position, came from the missionaries who were coming and like raping the natives? Because typically, and the most popular like sex position and like the way that like they depict things, I mean, it's the truth. That's like how the name came about, like colonizers. But the way like that all came about is really because originally, like the more utilized position is women on top. like superior facing, like women on top. Like that's the top tier. And that's when you survey like people with vulvas, like that's what they're saying is their favorite. And it makes sense if you think about the anatomy, like, because it's like you're getting use of the clit, and there's different variations of it you can do. Put a leg up, like they put a leg up and stuff like that. But that's what we like.
Damn.
Clit, 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 clit.
Are they gonna make like missionary like offensive one day? Like, oh no, we can't do missionary. That's offensive.
I think it's the. I mean, I always make fun of it. I always joke. Sometimes, well, not anymore, but like when I was back in the game, like sometimes you meet guys and you're like, you're very. Give me missionary Monday vibes. So I definitely have. I have seen it, and like I don't know, missionary now is fine, but I feel like you'd lose a lot with it. But I mean, to each his own. Like if you like missionary, that's fine. But I think of missionary, have you ever seen I Love You, Philip Morris?
No.
You have to watch it. It's such a good movie. But he's gay, but he's like married to like a super Christian like woman in the beginning, and they're having sex, and she's just like laying there like this, and he's just like pumping her like a dog, just like very violently, aggressively,
Oh,
you know,
God.
like, and we've all been there where you're just like, and so that's when I think of like, when I think someone's like a missionary Monday person, like that's what I imagine. It's like a jackhammer, like you're going to like really just pump it out for 30 seconds on top. And I'm just going to be like, I should have stayed home.
Yeah, that's the worst. I've had that a few times. Especially with like one night stands usually. That usually happens. It's fucking...
Yeah. Guys think we care about like the whole like number thing. It's like I don't care about a number. I care about like the makeup, the outfit that I wasted, like the effort I wasted like coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I could have been like in bed in my pajamas watching Netflix, eating some chocolate. Would have probably felt even better than this. Yeah. You know? So yeah.
Or I could have done it myself and stayed home and like, but like now I'm a lot more demanding, and I'm just like, no, like we're gonna find a way to like finish me one way or another. Like I'm a split the check kind of gal in that way. Like there's no like one or the other kind of thing. It's so I will make sure that shit happens. I actually was talking about that with my partner yesterday about like, they're like, well, I always help you now. Like if I finish before you, and I'm like, yeah, but when we first were dating, would you have? And they were like, no. And I was like, exactly. Yeah. You would have turned around and been like, high five, we did it. Like if I didn't speak up, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you have to communicate for sure, because like I remember as well, like I would get really frustrated because like when I start, you know, getting pleasured, I have to finish. If I don't finish, I become really aggressive. You know.
Yeah, if you talk about blue balls, they are always talking about blue balls. Yeah. I have the same thing, and it's half beat pussy. That's how I feel. Like.
Totally. Like even when I'm like doing it on myself, like when I have my Hitachi, I usually can knock out like 8 in a row. Boom, boom,
I
boom,
like
boom.
7 or 8. Yeah, I'm the same.
And then you know when you know, do you know when you can just, you know, you have it, you can knock one more out, more out, and you're like
you're struggling,
and you're just like, and you get really frustrated, and you're like, and you're trying to like, okay, I'll give myself a few minutes, and then your vagina's like, but then you're like, okay, and you're like just trying to find it, and you're just like, and then you.
I love that you're scatting right now, like I'm living for this.
It's like, that's how I am. So like when I'm in a relationship, you know, relationship, haven't had that in a long time. Okay. And like
I'm your new relationship.
it's crazy. Like I haven't been with someone physically in a very long time. But so yeah, like if you know we're doing it and I don't finish off, like I get really fucking aggressive. And then if they're trying and they can't do it because they're probably doing it shit or they're not listening to me, I get really frustrated.
Useless.
Get the fuck out of here. To your room, motherfucker. Yeah. No, I get really frustrated. So that's why when I introduced, talk about the machismo again. Remember the sex toy we talked in the first episode, the Revibe?
Yes.
I introduced that to him. And I was like, look, this looks really good. And he was like, ugh, I don't need a toy to make you orgasm. And I was like, yeah, you do. And And he was like, what? Oh my God, he got so mad.
Boom.
He got so mad. And I was like, look, like, I'm not saying you're shit or anything. I'm just saying, like, I just...
You can't finish the job.
Yeah, like, I just penetrate like that doesn't work. Like, I need, like, stimulation. I need this. And, like, you know, like, this pussy is used to very high intensity vibrations. It needs high intensity, you know? Like, let's go. Vroom. Get the jackhammer.
Power queen.
So he got really mad. Like, he did not like it. He got really offended. Like, oh no, I don't need this. Like, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway, so 2 weeks go by, maybe, and I say to him, look, let's do it for me, you know? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And by the way, I would, God, if I was ever in a relationship like that ever again, I would be like, okay, well, fuck off then. Like, get out of here. But,
yes, abdicating for ourselves. This is what we like to hear. This is what the Q&A podcast is all about.
Power.
We are abdicating for ourselves.
And,
Power queen.
He finally tried it, okay? In the beginning, he was like,
and he liked it?
Let me tell you something. Every time we fucked, he reached out for that toy. That was his new, and he was like, ooh, because it also stimulated him.
Yeah,
like
it's for
crazy.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, and he loved it. He was like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm so new to all this, you know? And I'm just like, no, but like, it was kind of really shitty of you to be like, I don't need that to make you come. And I'm like, well, you haven't in like 3 months, darling. So, you know.
It just reminds me, my friends at university, they used to have a chalkboard in their house and because they had like a wasp problem. Ooh. And so they had everyone in the house's name, including wasp. And so every time they would kill a wasp, there would be like a tally, or if the wasp would like get them, the wasp would get a tally. And so I just feel like I'm imagining one beside your bed, like your name, your partner's name, and just being like they have all these lines. You just have like nothing. Like the imagery.
Who can do better? Yeah. Who can do better?
Yeah, the wasp thing was hilarious. Like
that's crazy. Was no one allergic to them? Fucking hell! Like if I get stung, I'm done for.
I don't know if I am. I haven't been stung, knock on wood. Now I say that, I'll walk outside and like one of those crazy wasps will come get. Yeah, my friend sat on one on the toilet. She went to pee and it was dead on the toilet. She didn't realize. She sat down, got stung in the butt. That was a funny.
Whoa.
That was one for wasp.
Did she get like? Did her butt go big? Like did it? Oh.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, free, cheap
injections.
Yeah, free like butt implants. Just grab 2 wasps, pom. There you go.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Yeah, I could definitely see that, like a tally board. But like that's also toxic. That's toxic on our part to do that.
Yeah, we have to talk things through. Yeah.
But it's hilarious to talk about. Hilarious in theory, would never actually do it.
Amber, I is toxic, so next time I'll be like, look, Hitachi 1, you 0. Machine winning over you. Robots taking over the world.
Quincy giving Quincy orgasms 1,000,000. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's good vibes, literally good vibes. But okay, so I want to move on to our next question. So totally. This kind of touches on a little bit what we were talking about with the whole like, am I gay for this? So another question someone sent in is, if I watch gay porn, am I gay, or am I possibly gay, or however they want to perceive it? So go ahead. I want to hear your opinion first.
You know what?
Miss Double-Ended Dildo.
I don't, you see, I don't know, really. Like, I think bleh. Maybe.
I'm like getting intrigued.
Maybe a little bit. I think, you know.
You think so?
Maybe a little bit. But then it goes back to the conversation we just had about how we watch taboo stuff, but we wouldn't do it in real life. Okay? So I'm kind of like undecided there, because I'm like I watch gay porn.
Fence. I know you do. I know.
I watch it, and I love
dream situation.
Exactly. I want 2 men to fuck each other while I watch. That turns me on. And I've never done it. people always like, you've never had a threesome, Quincy? And I'm like, no, like, you've never had a threesome? I'm like, bruh, I've never in my life had a threesome. Like, never. So, like, I don't really know the answer to that question, because I feel like maybe a little bit, but then I go, but then again, I watch taboo stuff, but I would never do that in real life.
I think you can be attracted to something and not necessarily be defiant of your sexuality. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like how like people who are straight, like straight heterosexual women who see other women are like, "Ooh, she's hot." Like, or lately I've been watching like How I Met Your Mother, and like Marshall and Lily are married, but like Lily is always like trying to get with Robin. She always has these like fantasies. She's like getting
Yes.
hot, and then it turns into like it goes from like some crazy scenario to like her and Robin, like always is the scenario. And like she has like a girl crush. And I think that's definitely fair. I think we can have people that we're attracted to, or things that we're attracted to that don't necessarily aren't necessarily definitive of our sexuality. Like I had a friend in university who like felt like they were a lesbian the whole time, and then they ended up dating a guy because they were just like, I don't know, I really vibed with them. That's why like I identify as pansexual, because like I just like people. Like I'm not really any which way. I've dated and been with all kinds of different people. I just like them for the personality. But I think the sexual aspect or the arousal aspect could just literally come from what is intriguing you and not necessarily the whole situation. Because like you could love gay porn and then you go to like a gay club, or you go have sex with like a gay guy, and then you're like, I'm just not feeling this.
No, you might just enjoy watching it and jerking off to it, like I do stepdad porn, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I've definitely gone home with girls before, and like it's been a knockout of the park, and I've gone home with girls before and I've been like, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, exactly.
But like it didn't change my perspective on like where I stood with myself sexually. Yeah. It was just like that experience just wasn't that cool. Maybe the next one will be. So I think the gay porn thing, watch whatever the hell you want to watch, as long as you're, you know, paying for your porn, or being supportive of our sex workers and they're not being exploited, and that everyone is an adult.
Yeah.
So otherwise, no green light. But pay for your porn. It's super important. We're going to talk about that next week. We have so much to talk about with
big
that.
Things coming
so we
next
can't.
Week.
yes, big things coming. So definitely for sure. Okay. So one of the last things I want to touch on, like we'll keep going. We have like a steady stream of questions, but we're starting to round out. So talking about porn, moving out of the whole like, am I gay, am I not gay thing, one of the questions someone asked is, should I be worried about what kind of porn my partner is watching? So
yeah,
I think I'm going to start this one off.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you. You've been taking the reins on the first question. I'm going to start this one off because I want you to close it. I'm going to give you a chance to close the show. So I don't think you should be worried what your partner is watching, as long as they're not watching anything that's too, you know, like minors or anything like that. But overall, I think it's one of those things. I'm very about having an open line of conversation, but I don't ask my partner about their preferences often. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, why don't you show me what you watch? Or like, what are you watching? This, that, and the other. But it's not in like jealous kind of way. It's just in a genuine, like, I'm just curious, like what you're watching over there kind of thing. I don't think you should be worried unless you've specifically set some kind of boundary in your relationship. Like maybe they have a partner who has a spicy account, or a former partner who has a spicy account and they're still subscribed. Like, okay, I could see the apprehension there.
Yeah.
But overall, I think as long as what they're watching is kind of within a healthy realm, healthy being, you know, of between consenting adults, or not alluding to anything else, I think green light it, whatever. That's your business. That's not a part, for me, it's not a part of the relationship, but I know people who were married and would be genuinely proper pissed that their partner watched porn at all.
Yeah, I've heard people like they don't like if their boyfriends go jerk off, or they jerk off in the shower, or like, for example, like all my exes were fucking machismo, so they didn't like that I watched porn either. Like I remember like when I
Ooh, the
first
reverse.
when I first dated this guy, my ex, when he saw I had the Hitachi, he was like, I don't really like he. This is really fucking toxic, dude.
I don't vibe with that.
This is really fucking toxic, man. Like, I would never do this again, but this is so toxic. He literally hid my toy from me. Because he said that,
I
like...
have had that. I've heard of people, like, I've never had that happen to me, but I've worked at a sex shop where someone came in and they were like, my partner destroyed all my toys. And I was just like, what? Like,
oh my God. Like, it makes me, like, want to cry even thinking about it. Like, he hid it from me. And he was like, this is like when... Because I'm not going to lie, like, when he would leave or during the day, I would knock a few out. Like...
yeah, I mean, that's your decision.
I'm sorry, like
it's
my body. Exactly,
choice.
it's my body. I can do what the fuck I want, right? Like if he jerked off in the shower, I'd be like, okay, cool, like whatever, bro. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't bother me, you know. Like it's...
I don't know, it gives me biblical vibes. The whole like don't waste your seed kind of
yeah.
thing, you know. Like if I want to utilize my toy and like send out a few good vibes into the universe, like please,
exactly.
let me do so.
Yes, and he hid it from me because he was like, this is like cheating. I feel like you're cheating on me if if I'm out working and you whack one out and watch porn. Like, he did not like that at all. He was like, that's cheating. Like, big time for him.
Do you think he would have been more keen on it if you had made your own videos together and you used those?
Probably, because I think he liked to film. He filmed me a few times.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's where like I get curious about when people set these kind of boundaries with you, these very like sexist boundaries, like these double standards kind of thing. Like I can do it, but you can't do it. Yeah. Like I'm always curious, like where does the line, like where is the line in the sand? And like that's where I would get like, so could I watch one if it was this video? Not that I would ever stay with someone who tried to dare tell me what to do with my time. But like in that instance, I would definitely want to know for the sake of the argument. I would know.
No, I never asked. I don't want to watch myself. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, like sometimes I get turned on by myself, but like I don't want to watch myself. You know, it's like
I would watch you. Subscribe. Boom, 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 boom.
It's do you know, like when you do this for a job, it's like.
No, I totally understand.
I watch myself every day. Like, I want to watch someone else and feel something else. But anyway, yeah, like, he did not like it. So a lot of people are jealous about that. And, you know, and for example, like, with camming, when I used to do a lot of privates, like, one-on-one, a lot of men would confide in me and be like, oh, like, I have to, like, whack one out quickly because my wife's going to be back from the grocery store in, like, 10 minutes. You know? Or some guys would be like, my wife's watching. That actually turns me on. Yeah, they're like, look, my wife doesn't want to. It's like, you know, some wives are like.
Some are okay with it, and that's fine. That's
some are okay with it,
definition.
and some are like, I don't want to do this, but I want to watch you. So a lot of the times, for example, like I remember I had this couple for a long time, and so it was kind of like he wanted me to like kind of like dom, you know, be a dom.
Mm-hmm.
But his wife didn't really know what to do, and for me it was like, oh shit, like I'm not really a professional dominatrix. I've done a lot of fin dom and stuff videos, but I wouldn't be comfortable really teaching someone because I don't feel like I am that pro. Like I would love to go to like a proper mistress and like be taught, you know.
I want to do it too. Let's see if this progresses. We could definitely do it.
Yeah, totally.
I know a few, and I would genuinely love to do it. I think it would be such a cool experience.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would love to like attend a workshop or anything, you know, like teach me the years of training you've had, you know. But anyway, the situation was she didn't really know what to do, but she really wanted to, so she would watch, and I would see them on the camera, and she would sit there and like really absorb everything in, you know. And I fucking lived for it, dude. And I was
that's such a, like, you're in such a high point of power there. Yeah. Because you're entering someone's relationship and you're dictating the person, and the person that you have someone who's like literally working under you and hanging on your word. Yeah. But in a different way. So that's so cool.
So it got to a point where I was kind of like, they were really good customers because, you know, they would stay for a long time. I kind of messaged them and I was like, how about if we up it up a little bit? And they were like, oh, how? And I was like, how about if I start instructing your wife what to do to you.
That's awesome.
So I would be like, do this to him, or like he really enjoyed like candle wax play. Mm-hmm. So I'd be like, yeah, put the candle wax on him and be like, yeah, do this to your, kind of like instruct her. And she fucking lived through it, dude. Like,
of course, because you're greenlighting her. You're saying you can do this.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, you're giving her the space to let her reclaim a part of herself that she probably has always wanted, and no one's ever said, you can do that. You're allowed.
Yeah, so, like, and like her thing, her whole thing about it was like she really wanted to, but she didn't know what to do or how to do it,
Yeah.
And they could have just Googled this stuff really, or watched some videos, but they really wanted this kind of like this interaction. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they were like, I lost them as a client because, like when I had them, I had stopped camming for like 2 years, and then so I didn't do it anymore. But I hope they're having a good time.
That sounds like a strong relationship, honestly.
Yes.
I think that's so awesome. And like, it's funny because I think about this scenario because I come off very domineering, and you would think that I could definitely pull that off. And I've been with a person who was extremely submissive. Well, I say extremely in the sense, for me, they were extremely submissive. And they would ask me, and I just couldn't bring myself to that, like to that point of being that dominant or that domineering or telling someone what to do, because I'm so have your own decisions, your autonomy, and like I can't take myself out of that. And I agree with you. Like, I've always wanted to go to a dungeon and do something like what they did with you, like be a sub alongside my partner until I could kind of find that part of myself and unlock that. And that's so cool. That's such a cool experience. Like, love it. 10 out of 10. Like, we have to do it. Quincy and Amber go to a dungeon.
Totally. There's so many in London. It's crazy. You don't think about it, but there's so many in London. Like,
I went to a nude spa in London. I didn't even know such a thing existed. Ooh. Like, outside of like adult clubs.
Yeah.
Like, I went to a hostel and someone was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to like a naked spa," and I was like, because like in the U.S. we're like weird, prudent, like I've never heard of such a naked spa. Like, I'm sure it exists like underground somewhere, but like it's not just like, yeah, go fucking. They have like rooms you could go off like if you meet someone you like, and I was just like, what is this place? This exists. And like, but it was a cool experience. I don't know. It was like kind of weird because I was young at the time. I think I was like 22, 23, and like blonde and like skinny, walking into this place, like people were like following me like a dog. But we ended up meeting one really nice guy who was like a genuine person. He was like, "I feel so bad for you today. You're like the only girls here. Like, normally there's a lot more, but like the ratio is just off today." And he like walked us home and made sure we were like good. But like, it was really nice. It was like a wholesome experience, because you would think like the kind of person that I met at a naked spa would not be willing to like walk me and this girl home.
Yeah, exactly.
In the snow, like on St. Patrick's Day, like in London. Like, it was so nice. So like, you meet the nicest people in the oddest of places.
Yeah, you do. Like, the first time I've ever went to like, I'm quite open and stuff like that. And I remember the first time I ever felt, not prudish, but I felt like, oh God, like, what is this?
Well, do you remember when we went to the club in Berlin?
Yeah, but were you there when everybody was like fucking each other?
I think I left before that point. I think I was like, I'm kind of bored. I'm going to go home. Because like, there was that other girl, I'm not going to like put their name out there, but that was like one of your other friends who was there, and they were like very snobby. And I was just like,
yeah, I know who's
you're coupled up. The person I was with is with a snobby girl now. So.
Oh, wait. Okay. I remember that scene now. I remember that scene. Whoa. Pooh! Just came back to me. We were all sitting on the floor, smoking and drinking. I remember.
I was not there for that part.
I think you left.
The next day. Yeah. Because like the next day she came up to me and was like, "I never did anything, and I was not interested at all." And I was like, "Dude, like even if you were, like I don't really care. Like, do you? Like, it's not my business. Like, I don't claim this person."
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like she was saying that to me in a way of being like, I got him. And I was just
Oh.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
like
well,
she's cool, but
been there
I
first.
could. She's cool, but I can see why you guys would probably clash.
Yeah, I
I
did
could
not
see it.
enjoy
I
her.
could see it.
No.
Okay, but no, this was the of I think it was the next year.
Finish your other
We
story. Go
went
ahead.
to same Berlin, Express Berlin. I went there and they went to this club. You had to be wearing fetish wear.
Hmm.
So men had to be either topless or wearing some kind of leather thing, and women as well. I didn't bring anything like that, so I kind of popped into the hotel and wore like this kind of like black lingerie thingy, and
Mm-hmm.
made it kind of look like fetishy, I guess. And
Yeah.
I just had like my boobies like out as much as I could. And they're like, yeah, okay, go in. Anyway, I didn't really last that long in there because people were smoking inside and it was just too much smoke. Yeah, like, and at that time I was vaping. I wasn't smoking, so the smoke was like, ugh, like couldn't even breathe. But anyway, so people like went there, everything. I go upstairs. I go for a little wander around. I go upstairs, and I go into the bathroom. I open the bathroom, and there's just like
A mirage of
guy
bodies.
a guy just sitting there and the guy's just sucking his dick on the toilet, and I was just like, uh, uh,
Where do I pee?
I was like, and the guy was like looking at me, and he just like we had this like direct eye contact, and he wasn't like, oh whoa, like I'm sorry, like he was just like,
what a power move. Like,
yeah, he was getting sucked, and he was just like looking at me like this. He was like, yeah, you like this, and I was just like, yeah, I kind of do like it, but at the same time, like, okay, and I
in
just
a
kind
toilet.
of, yeah.
Public toilet, no way.
They were fucking everywhere. It was like the massive orgy, okay? I go and then it's like this room, I open the curtain like this, and then it's just like literally this massive couch and everyone's just fucking each other. And then there's like this girl, like she's like high off drugs and her eyes are like rolling behind and she's getting fingered by like two girls, and I was just like, uh, okay. And I try to go down the stairs and people are fucking on the stairs and I'm just like, excuse me.
When we went to the one in Berlin together, there was a girl who was like definitely on ketamine, or she was on DMT or something, because her eyes were like rolling back. She looked like she was like tripping out, but she wasn't moving. I was like, okay, like this is some intense stuff. And it was so funny because like this girl's like conked out. And there's just a guy next to her, I'm assuming is like her partner or something, just twisting her nipple, like just like this, like that's all they're doing. And it was just so funny to me because like to me it's like the equivalent of like me sitting here with my water bottle and just being like,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
so just out of place.
I wasn't like freaked out, but I was kind of like, okay, okay. And then like this girl was like trying to get with me and stuff. She was really hot, okay. She's really hot.
But it was just overwhelming.
Yeah, it was really because it was my first time, and I was just like, oh my god, I feel like such a prude, and I'm just like, oh, and she's like touching me and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, like, and I was trying to get to know her. I was like, yeah, maybe I can bring her back to the hotel room, but no, she wanted to like do it there and then. She's like, yeah, do you want to
I'm
go to the
not an in
bathroom?
public kind of gal. Yeah, I need to be like away from others.
I like public.
Not
I'm into public. But I think, like you
can't
said, because it was my first time, I was quite overwhelmed. I think if I went to those clubs a few times, maybe.
Like you'll get the vibe for it.
Yeah. But I think I would rather go with like, I don't know, like a friend and just a dude that we know.
I still have never been to a strip club in my life. Never in my life, ever. Well, now I don't want to go to one in Europe because I feel like in the US, it's like, people are coming out of the ceilings into splits and like all kinds of nonsense. So like I want to see like a real, I don't want to say real because I'm sure there's like some cool ones in Europe, but like I want to see some elite stuff. Like
I'll tell you like my little quick story of my first ever strip club, and it wasn't even that long ago. I think it was in 2018, and we were on a yacht. It was Express Miami, which you have to come to because it's the best.
I know. You told me this story. I want you to tell the audience, but like you told me this story and I was just like, why is this not my life? Why is this
You've
not
only been to Express
me?
Berlin, and the Berlin one is okay, but the Miami is like in another level. Like
this story, like, go ahead. Tell it because
oh my god,
people are gonna be shooketh.
So we had this yacht party, okay, which I'm begging experts to do again, okay? Experts, if you're listening, please, when we come back, when the world goes back to fucking normal, Please, we need the yacht party. We need it.
What
like,
is that, like, that new audio that's like going around on TikTok where they're like, I need to shake my ass. I need to shake my ass on a yacht. And like that's what I feel like. That's my vibe now.
Yeah.
2025, because that's when it looks like fucking COVID's gonna.
No, please. Okay, so from the beginning of the COVID, I said that this shit's gonna last until 2022 summer. That was my prediction.
QUINCY is Nostradamus, so put it out there.
I've predicted every lockdown, by the way, guys, so.
All right, I'll have to ask your opinion about the next one when we finish today. Go ahead, tell your story, because this server story is good.
So anyway, we're at Expo Miami, we have the yacht party. I go up there, I'm fucking gin and tonics, vibing, everyone's up partying. I go down, and you know me, I'm a sucker for American men. Oof, I love an American. Why do you think I love Amber so much? Every time she talks, I'm like, orgasming already, because I just love
when I met you.
the American accent. Like, when I met you, I was just like, oh yeah, just talk. I just loved it, okay? I'm a sucker for Americans, okay? So I met these two brothers, and I'm actually still friends with them, and we actually meet up every time we go to con. We're like, oh my god, hi. So these two guys from Colorado, good looking American boys. So like, we talking, blah 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 blah, and he goes like, oh, we should tomorrow is the Expos Awards, and after awards we should go to a strip club. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool, like. And I'm just like, I've never been to a strip club. And the guy like shut up in the air, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I've never been to a strip club before. And he's like, no, what? And his brother was like, excuse me? And I'm just like, oh god.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, am I like uncool? Like, what's happening? I just never had the chance to go. And he's like, okay, fuck tomorrow, we're going now. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going right now. Like, and the yacht was like, and they said like, oh, in 10 minutes we're arriving in a dock. And I was like, okay, like, is it open now? And he's like, yeah, like, let's go now. And I'm just like, okay. And I just met these guys, okay? And I was just like, oh, but they had Expos passes, so I kind of trusted them. Oh, we had a friend as well, I think, so she kind of came as well. And she came with us. So we get off the yacht. He calls an Uber. He's like, yo, do you want to come with us? We're taking you to your first ever fucking strip club. And I'm like, let's fucking go. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So he calls the Uber. We get there, and we get to, you might know this one. It's the one in Miami 11. It's like,
yeah, it's always on Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it's like, apparently you always see rappers and stuff at it. It's like quite popular. Apparently 11 are doing like a whole penthouse thing now, and I saw it like on their Instagram. So, next time we go, we should hire a penthouse and some girls.
And whoever wants to adopt a hoe and send us to a strip club.
I loved it. I walked in, and the funny thing, before I get in there, sorry, my throat. The guy's like, oh, I need to see some ID. And like, in America, they always ID you. And not used to it, because I hardly ever get ID'd here in Europe. And I'm like, ID? And he's like, yeah, your ID. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I don't have ID. And he's like, oh, well, I can't let you in, And they're like, QUINCY, how come you not have ID with you? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't have ID.
I bring my passport everywhere. Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not letting you in. I'm like, dude, like, we just drove all the way, blah blah blah. It's my first time. And I'm like,
my accent.
And I'm like looking at him, giving him like the puppy eyes as much as I could. And he was like, do you have Facebook? And I was like, yeah. He was like, what year were you born? 1993. And he's like, show me your Facebook profile. I went, okay. And he was like, show me your like details. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah, your birthday.
Scroll down. He was like, okay, yeah. He used my Facebook as an ID.
I mean, that's smart, because like, I would, if you theoretically win, you would never like be prepared for that, like, ahead of time. That's smart.
Exactly. And he's like, oh, you've had Facebook since the beginning, eh? I was like, yeah. Like, I'm that old. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, get in, okay. Fucking, now these girls are like elite, okay? Like, fucking, and they're not just like doing this shit. They're fucking up there. This bitch is up there on the top, spinning down, like.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I want to see in life.
They're doing amazing stuff, So we go to like the middle. The guys take me. They sit me down. Like, literally, they're like controlling everything. They sit me down. He calls one girl. He goes like, hey, massage her. Like, hands her cash. So I have one hot girl with big titties, just like her tits are just like banging into me here, and she's like massaging my back. Gin and tonic on one hand, cash on the other, and I literally have like two girls twerking and literally doing crazy off dance moves, and I'm just like,
I am God.
and like,
I am
yeah,
God.
and the guys are like giving me more dollars and more dollars. Yeah, just fucking like giving me the cash to like just fucking like they must have spent
You have to tell
thousands.
them when I come, we're gonna play it off. I'll give myself a fake accent and I'll just be like, oh, I've never been to a strip club either.
Let's go.
Daddy, take me to a strip club.
But it was amazing. Like for a first experience, it was like top. It was like usually like your first experience would be like some shady ass club, like you know.
Yeah, I'm from Virginia, back in the United States. In Virginia, you can't have strip clubs. Like it's a conservative state. Well, it's not like we're a liberal state, but like we're mostly conservative.
Yeah.
And so you have to go to West Virginia
If
you want to go see strippers. And I remember as a kid listening to like the radio advertisements for the West Virginia strippers, and they'd be like, door strippers tonight every Wednesday. And I was just like that's the kind of stuff like that's going on in West Virginia.
Wow.
I mean, so that's what my first strip club experience should be. But I've always been like, no, I'm never gonna do it. I'm like, I'm gonna wait until it's really good. I'm not just gonna give this up.
Oh, totally. When we do, like, I hope next Sex with Miami, you can come and we'll, like, just fucking go. Like, it's...
I hope so.
It's
Sponsor
amazing.
Us. I stand by. Where that's going to be like we'll make a Venmo and it'll just be like adopt a hoe. And it'll be like our holiday fun. So we could go places together. Like communal chess.
But yeah, for anyone who's been to a strip club, like, if you have a bad first experience, go to another one, because my second experience was, and it was with the same guys, in Vegas, AVN. It was really, really late. It must have been like 6 a.m. So we went to one that was open, and we went quite far, actually. And this club was so shit, dude. It was just like, the atmosphere was dead. There was lots of people in there, mostly older guys, and the women just looked so sad. They looked so sad. They were just like spinning, and this one girl was just sitting there like dancing to this guy, and it just did not look like the other girls were like spinning up and down and fucking like having a blast. These girls were just like, and that's what put me off. Like the girls just did not seem like, they just did not seem like they were having a good time at all. Like I was just like, and I sat down. And this one girl was like, can I give you a dance? And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna get out of here. Like. And it wasn't like, maybe I thought, oh, maybe it's like really dead and they're not making money and they're, it can happen.
Maybe they're
like,
tired. It's 6 a.m. They're just like.
Yeah, probably, yeah, but it was just like a really like, yeah, like it was just, I don't know. But then it was it was like 6 a.m. at 11, so, yeah, even the vibe, the people in there, it was really.
Just didn't hit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so if you had a bad experience, go to another one. I highly recommend 11. In Miami.
We have to do it. So, last question of the day. What do you think about hate sex? For it, against it? Are we invested in it? Are we strong advocates of it but know it's toxic? Like, where are we on the hate sex spectrum?
I'm kind of like in between, like almost near toxic in the meter. It's like okay, like I understand hate. So for example, like like the whole thing, like especially when you're in a relationship, when you fight, I'm assuming you've also had hate sex, right? Where you just like,
if I'm fighting in a relationship, most of the time I'm not at the hate sex part. It's the after we broke up hate sex. That's the good stuff. That's for me is like, I'm a pro. Okay, so I think everyone should have their vices in life. Like some people smoke cigarettes, some people drink, some people, I don't know, like flash people in public and stuff like that. Like my vice is like, I just love to take a match to that last little bit of something and just be like, we're going to do this. Like I have a really good hate sex story. I will tell you, but I'll let you say your piece before I give this story.
Okay, hate sex. Look, I have done it a few times. I remember this guy really annoyed me. This is years ago now, and he just really fucking annoyed me. Like, he was such a fuckboy. Like, I just really did not like him. But I really wanted to fuck him. I don't know why. It was weird. That's what might be hate sex. I don't know. Like, I just...
It's a power thing.
Yeah. And I think... And it wasn't like... I'm usually quite submissive in sex, you know? But I really wanted to dominate the fuck out of him. So I remember, like, I fucked him one time. And he was quite shocked because I think because he's all kind of like macho as well. Like, yeah, look at me, big muscles and stuff like that. And I just remember like going on top and I was like,
you're going to be my bitch. I'm going to kill you.
I was like choking him. Not really choking him, you know, the good choking way to do it. The good way, not the bad way. And I was just
I'll bad choke someone. I don't care. When I'm hate sexing someone, I'm just like,
yeah, I was scrubbing his neck, and then I'm not gonna lie, he had a bit of a scared look in his eye, and I kind of like low key enjoyed it. Like I don't want to come across as like psychopathic, but like, yeah, I was just like, ugh. And then like, he didn't finish, but I did, and I walked out. I was like, all right,
mic drop.
Yeah, I was like, there you go. That's my thing. I hate sex. I approve. Fuck it. I'm gonna be that bitch.
I think it's great. I am very pro hate sex. I think it's awesome. I also think like when you're in a healthy relationship, it's good too. But like, it's always nice those toxic experiences. You know?
Yeah.
Like we
totally.
all have them. We all have those moments where like afterwards you're just like, I did that.
I took control.
That's how I feel.
I have the
about
penis
it.
in this situation.
Well, not even like penis means power, but just like I have the power in this situation. Like I totally agree with you. Like I love like moments when that aggression kicks in for me too, and I'm able to like turn the situation around. Like I used to have a partner who was like a mean drunk, and it was when I was moving to Europe, and they were like pissed because it was the last time we were really gonna see each other.
Yeah.
And like they were like, I don't want to see you, blah blah blah, before you leave. And I was just like, fine, I won't see you. And then as soon as I said that, they were like, oh, actually I do want to see you. So I showed up there, and he drove home drunk, and I'm very against like drunk driving, because like if you want to kill yourself, like that's your business, but like if you want to hurt someone else, like that's my
totally.
problem, you know. And so he showed up drunk, and I remember he was like getting all angry at me and like yelling at me, like yelling in my face, and I could like smell the beer, and I was just like, ugh. And he had a pickup truck, he had a Chevy truck, and I remember he gets out of his truck and he like pulls out the back, like I don't know what you call like the back part of the truck, like the back door, like opens it, like takes out the cooler. And he's like super dramatic about it. He was like, you want to know what sucks? And I was like, what? And he's like, cracks his beer open. It's like spilling all down his hand. He's like, falling in love with someone.
Oh my God, that's so like redneck like, American. I love it.
But he wasn't redneck. It was just like he had a truck. Yeah. That was the only thing. That was like the one thing. But so
was he from West Virginia?
No, but he did work there, and he went to university there. But like he didn't talk like this or anything. Oh, but I
love that.
He was more like a skater. He was like a skater, but like he was a fucking mean drunk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So he says that to me, and like he's all pissy about it. And I remember he's like in my face, like kind of yelling at me, and he like kind of slaps me because like that's like what we used to do. But like when he was like drunk, he would like slap me at like times where I'm like, this is not a sexual setting. So like, this is not when you have the green light to do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. So I remember that. And he was wearing, he wore glasses. So I like guys that wear glasses. And I remember he like slapped me across the face. And I was just like, I'm fucking leaving for Spain. I don't give a fuck about this kid anymore. Like, I don't care. So I looked at him, and I snatched his glasses off his face, and I threw them across his yard in the middle of the night. And I looked at him, and I said, Jinkies, bitch. And then we started making out. And like that's my funny hate sex story.
Damn. What did he do
But,
when you
like,
did that? Was he like shocked, or was he just
he
like,
was shocked. Of course he was shocked. I just smacked the glasses off his face. I just grabbed them off his face and flung them across the yard in the middle of the night in a cul-de-sac neighborhood. Like, and I'm just like, I'm never like that mean. Like in a relationship, I'm very like, oh, like I always try to make the person happy. And like that was where I was just like, fuck this. So yeah, but it was really funny. Like, I still think about that moment. I think it's one of the funniest like mic drop moments that I've had, to like look at someone and be like, Jinkies, bitch. Like, who knew? Who knew all those years of Scooby-Doo?
Was
like,
it good sex though?
Like, come out
Did you enjoy it?
No, I stopped it at the end because I was just like, I'm not about to do this on the front of your truck. Like, in the neighborhood where there's people. So I was just like, meh. And then he ended up crying and ripping his front bumper off of his car.
The fuck?
I have really funny. One day we have to do like my what's it like sleeping with crazy American stories, because I have really funny ones. Like, I have some very comically doesn't seem real stories.
Well, let me go to America and fuck some Americans first. Jesus.
Trash. All the American viewers are gonna be like, fuck you. But like,
dude, so like, I really want to fuck like you know, like a real like American, like kind of like, whereas like those kind of like shirts that are like checkered and like drives a big
plaid
pickup.
Shirt?
Yeah. And
so
drives a kinda, they were like really into football. I don't know, like when it was a Super Bowl in Vegas, there was so many. They just all arrived like for the Super Bowl, you know, and they were like big and muscly with their big pickup trucks, and they were like, yeah, football. And I was like, oh my god, I just wanna.
They're like, I love football and things that I can care about because my penis is just too damn small.
I don't know what it's about Americans. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Like for me, like you must. Do you like a lot of Spanish boys?
No, I like Germans. And I feel like it's a general consensus about everyone. I like when I talk to girls at hostels and stuff like that. Well, I'll be like, what do you think of this one and this one and this one? And then it's always like, it always comes back to Germans. I don't know what it is about
Germans.
But like, yes, they're so big and like aggressive and they're weird. But like, I don't like when I was in Germany, like talking to people, like they don't have game because they're just like, do you want to fuck? And I'm like, only I like to be the aggressor. And in this situation, there's no aggressor at all. There's just like it's like a business deal. It's like, would you like this phone?
Oh my god, it was like, remember in Exes Berlin, there was like a bunch of Spanish content creators as well.
Yes.
Oh my god, those guys did not know the meaning of no.
Oh, the one who was like, let's do let's make content together, to like every single person that was there. Like, do you want to make content? Do you want to make content? Like, doesn't even know your name, just like approaches you and it's just like basically like, do you want to fuck on camera? Like, in essence, it's like what was.
Oh, but a lot of the girls did. A lot of girls was like, okay, and they just walked up, you know, and I was like, okay, I get that.
Girl.
But I'm just like, I was to him like, I don't do boy and girl, and he was like, oh, you should, and I was like, and he kept giving me shit for not doing boy and girl. He was like, oh, you should do it, and I was like, I can't remember what I said, but do you remember I like snapped back at him, and he like shut up?
Yes.
What did I
don't
say?
Remember what you said, but
I think it was he was with this other girl, and they were like, oh, she doesn't do boy and girl, and I said something like, yeah, and look, I got nominated for an award, did you? I said something like that, right? I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something, and he literally just shut the fuck up. Because he kept going on and on about it, and I was just like, yeah, well, are you nominated for an award? Because he kept like saying to me, like, if I don't do boy and girl, I'm not going to get anywhere. And I was just like, oh.
That's because he's insecure, ugly, gross.
I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something like that along the lines of like, or I might have said like, oh, says the person not nominated for, I don't know, I said something across those lines, I don't really remember, but I remember I snapped back at him, and then he shut the fuck up. I remember. So funny. I remember even at one time, oh my god, the guy from, okay, maybe I shouldn't fucking say the company, but anyway, he came up to me, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, you're really good, blah, blah, blah. A bit too new for my website though, like, I don't think you're like, you know, Like I just remember like, and he walked away, and I was just like, why did I not? Oh God, just so I've had this situation so many times. People would say things to me, and I'm just like,
Fuck off.
yeah, like ugh, people like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
So next week we're going to talk about why we should pay for our porn and sex work and all of this good stuff. So
Yeah.
make sure you're here. We will come back more or less around this time or maybe a little bit earlier. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. I'm sorry I have to jump off, but it's like we're on a different time zone. So it's later and I will join you and maybe next time we'll take a drink. Because I think it'd be fun to have a drink together on the show.
Yeah, I'll
And
pour
watch
it
me
in.
just get belligerent.
Yeah. So you can follow Amber and me and all our socials below.
Yes.
Join the Discord, please. If you have any questions or any topics you want us to talk about, it's all in the Discord. Join, and I have a special channel for it. Or weekly, I would post Instagram stories about questions and topics, and so don't be shy. And look, it's not only about sex. You can ask us questions about anything.
Yeah, we want to like right now we're talking a lot about sex because that's where our expertise lies. But like as things progress, we definitely want to move into like different aspects of things and talk about stuff. I was thinking one day we could cook together or something. We're going to be entertaining. So, okay, all. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all for being here. And Quincy, I love you. I can't wait to see you next week.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.